Hello students, welcome for the biochemistry lipid metabolism. So today we are going to discuss the lipid metabolism part 2. In the part 1 we have discussed about the beta oxidation of saturated fatty acids. So we have taken the example of palmitic acid which is 16 carbon. Then also we have discussed about formation and utilization of ketone bodies, and we have discussed about ketoacidosis. So today we are going to discuss about de novo synthesis of fatty acids. So let's see what is the meaning of de novo synthesis. So de novo synthesis of fatty acids. The example to be discussed again over here is palmitic acid. De novo means it is new. So the synthesis of new fatty acids. So the dietary carbohydrates and amino acids, when consumed in excess, can be converted to fatty acids and stored as triacyl glycerols. So de novo means it is the new synthesis of fatty acids which occurs in liver, kidney, adipose tissue and lactating mammary glands. The enzyme machinery which is required for production of fatty acid is located in cytosol fraction of the cell. Then the acetyl coenzyme A is the source of carbon atoms, while NADPH is the reducing equivalent. It provides the reducing equivalents, and ATP supplies the energy for fatty acid formation. So it is divided into three stages. Fatty acid synthesis divided into three stages. First is the production of acetyl coenzyme A and NADPH. Second is the conversion of acetyl coenzyme A to malonyl coenzyme A. And third is the reaction of fatty acid synthase complex. So the first step, that is production of acetyl coenzyme A and NADPH. So the acetyl coenzyme A and NADPH are the prerequisite of the fatty acid synthesis. So here you can see this image or the diagram. It indicates the transfer of acetyl coenzyme A from mitochondria to cytosol. So if you see, here is the mitochondria and this is the cytosol. So acetyl coenzyme A is produced in the mitochondria by the oxidation of pyruvate and fatty acids and the degeneration of carbon skeleton of certain amino acids and from the ketone bodies. So mitochondria, however, is not permeable to acetyl coenzyme A. So here the acetyl coenzyme A cannot permeate into the cytosol. So therefore an alternate bypass arrangement is made for the transfer of acetyl coenzyme A to cytosol. So acetyl coenzyme A, it condenses with oxaloacetate in mitochondria to form citrate, and this citrate is freely transported to cytosol where it is cleaved by the action of enzyme citrate lyase to liberate acetyl coenzyme A and oxaloacetate. This oxaloacetate in the cytosol is converted to malate by the action of enzyme malate dehydrogenase. Then the malate, by the action of enzyme, that is malic enzymes, it forms pyruvate, and here the NADPH and the carbon dioxides are generated in this reaction, and both of them, they are utilized for the synthesis of fatty acids. So the first step in the de novo synthesis is production of acetyl coenzyme A and NADPH. So we have seen here the acetyl coenzyme A is being synthesized in the mitochondria by the oxidation of pyruvate. So here we have seen the pyruvate is getting converted into acetyl coenzyme A by the action of enzyme dehydrogenase. Then also the fatty acids gets oxidized to acetyl coenzyme A, that we have discussed in the last lecture. Then the certain amino acids, they get degraded to give the acetyl coenzyme A. Also the ketone bodies also provide the acetyl coenzyme A as discussed in the last lecture. But the acetyl coenzyme A which is produced here in the mitochondria, it cannot permeate the membrane, mitochondrial membrane, and therefore there is bypass arrangement is made for the transfer of acetyl coenzyme A, where the acetyl coenzyme A, it condenses with oxaloacetate to form citrate, and then citrate it can easily diffuse and it gets converted into malate. Then malate to pyruvate, it releases the NADPH and carbon dioxide. So the first step, that is production of acetyl coenzyme A and NADPH, it occurs simultaneously in mitochondria and the cytosol. Then the second step is the formation of malonyl coenzyme A. So once the acetyl coenzyme A is formed, it is by the action of enzyme acetyl coenzyme A carboxylase, it gets converted into malonyl coenzyme A. So here the ATP, the energy is utilized, and you can see the carbon dioxide, the it is utilized, and it forms malonyl coenzyme A. So acetyl coenzyme A is carboxylated to malonyl coenzyme A by the action of enzyme acetyl CoA carboxylase, and this is ATP dependent reaction and also requires biotin for carbon dioxide fixation. The mechanism of action of acetyl coenzyme A carboxylase is similar to that of pyruvate carboxylase. Acetyl coenzyme A carboxylase is a regulatory enzyme in fatty acid synthesis. So, the second step in the de novo synthesis is the formation of malonyl coenzyme A from acetyl coenzyme A by the action of enzyme carboxylase. Now, the third step is the biosynthesis of long chain fatty acids. So, here we are going to discuss about the palmitate. So, the remaining reaction, that is the third part, the reactions of fatty acid synthase complex, it is catalyzed by multifunctional enzymes known as fatty acid synthase. In short, it can be written as FAS complex. The fatty acid synthase functions as single unit catalyzing all the 7 reactions. So basically, this synthesis of fatty acid, it is the 7th step reaction. So we are going to discuss it one by one. So the first step, if you see, this is the fatty acid synthase where you have the ACP, it is stands for acyl carrier protein, and this is the cysteine, CYS stands for cysteine. So in the first step, the 2 carbon fragment of acetyl coenzyme A, this is here in the first step, you can see the acetyl coenzyme A is transferred to ACP, that is acyl carrier protein of fatty acid synthase. So here you can see the acetyl S acyl carrier protein. So ACP. So here you can see it is acetyl S ACP. So it happens in presence of enzyme, that is acetyl CoA ACP trans acylase. The acetyl unit is then transferred to ACP. So in the second step, the transfer of acetyl to cysteine. So you can see here in the second step, so here it is the transfer of acetyl to cysteine. So where this acetyl group is transferred from acyl carrier protein to cysteine. Then in the second step, in presence of the malonyl coenzyme A, it transfers the malonate from malonyl coenzyme A to acyl carrier protein by the action of enzyme malonyl coenzyme A, ACP transacylase. So here you can see the acyl carrier protein, the malonate is being transferred by the action of enzyme, that is transacylase. Then next is the conversion of acyl malonyl enzyme to beta ketoacyl ACP, and that happens in presence of enzyme beta ketoacyl ACP synthase. So the acetyl unit attached to cysteine is transferred to malonyl group. The malonyl moiety, it loses carbon dioxide, and the reaction is catalyzed by beta ketoacyl ACP synthase. So you can see here this is decarboxylation, and the acetyl group, it transfers to malonate. So this carbon dioxide is released and this acetyl gets transferred here on the malonate to form beta ketoacyl ACP. Then the fourth step is the beta ketoacyl ACP, by the action of enzyme reductase, it forms beta hydroxyacyl ACP. So here you can see the hydroxylation where it utilizes the NADPH and it gets converted to NADP plus. So beta ketoacyl ACP reductase, it reduces ketoacyl group to hydroxyl group, and the reducing equivalents are supplied by the NADPH. So this is basically reduction reaction where the carbonyl group is reduced to hydroxyl group to form beta hydroxyacyl ACP. In the next step, the beta hydroxyacyl ACP, so this is the fifth step, beta hydroxyacyl ACP, it undergoes dehydration. So you can see on the arrow, the water molecule is removed and a molecule of water is eliminated, and a double bond is introduced between alpha and beta carbon. So here you can see the double bond is introduced between alpha and beta carbon. So this is carbonyl group, carbonyl, this is alpha carbon and beta carbon. So double bond is introduced and it forms the trans enoyl ACP. So here you can see the small triangle. So this indicates on the triangle it is written 2. So the number 2 indicates the presence of double bond. So if this is the carbonyl carbon, so this is labeled as 1, this is 2, and the double bond is present between second and third carbon. Next is the sixth step, that is NADPH dependent reduction catalyzed by enoyl ACP reductase occurs to produce acyl ACP. So you can see over here the reduction happens. You can see here the double bond, the unsaturation, here it becomes saturated. This happens in presence of enzyme enoyl ACP reductase. Again the NADPH, the reducing equivalent is used and it forms acyl ACP. And also this is called as butyryl ACP because it is 4 carbon which is attached to the acyl carrier protein. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and therefore it is called as butyryl ACP. Then in the next step, this transfer of carbon chain to ACP to cysteine, it happens. So the carbon chain attached to ACP is transferred to cysteine residue, and the reaction 2 and 6 are repeated 6 more times. So you can see here there is a transfer of group to cysteine residue, and again from the first step, as we have seen, the acetyl coenzyme A, it gets attached to then acyl carrier protein, and further then transfer of this acyl carrier protein, the acetyl group transferred to the cysteine residue. So when it gets transferred to cysteine residue, it will get added up over here. So after the required number of reactions, it forms the long chain. As you can see over here, it is the 13 carbon. So total number it is 1, so 13, 14, 15, 16. So here it is the 16 carbon chain you can identify, and we know that the palmitic acid, it is the 16 carbon, the palmitate which forms, and therefore each time the fatty acid chain is lengthened by 2 carbon unit. So why it is lengthened by 2 carbon unit? Because in the first step the acetyl coenzyme is being added, and therefore it contains the 2 carbon, and therefore it lengthens by 2 carbon unit. So here, from on the by the action of enzyme, that is palmitoyl thioesterase, the ester bond will break here and it will free the palmitate. So at the end of the 7th cycle, the fatty acid synthesis is complete, and a 16 carbon fully saturated fatty acid, namely palmitate, bound to ACP is produced. So here it is the palmitate bound to ACP is produced, and the enzyme palmitoyl thioesterase, it separates palmitate from fatty acid synthase. So the fatty acid synthase is being separated, and this completes the synthesis of palmitate. So total 7 steps. So if you see here, it is the first step where you have the enzyme system, that is fatty acid synthase. The acetyl coenzyme A is get added up by the action of enzyme transacylase. So acyl group is added on the acyl carrier protein, then transfer of acyl group. Then in the second step, the malonyl coenzyme A is added on the enzyme. Malonate is being added on the enzyme. Then in the next step, decarboxylation happens, and then acetyl group transfers on the malonate group. Then in the next step, the reduction of carbonyl to hydroxyl group. Then in the next step, the elimination, water molecule is eliminated, it forms double bond. Then in the sixth step, by the action of enzyme reductase, the saturated compound is formed. Then the transfer of carbon, this butyl ACP, the butyl group is transferred to cysteine part, and then these reactions are repeated 6 more times, and then the palmitate with the synthase complex is formed, and then by the action of enzyme thioesterase, it gets separated, the palmitate is free from the synthase enzyme. So if you see the bioenergetics of this fatty acid synthesis, the 8 acetyl coenzyme A are utilized. It requires 7 ATP molecules and 14 NADPH to form 16 carbon palmitate. So here you can see in the table the fatty acid synthesis. The comparison is discussed between the fatty acid synthesis and beta oxidation. So the major tissues where it occurs, then subcellular site, then precursor substrate, then the end product, then the intermediates bound to. So this question can be asked, differentiate between the fatty acid synthesis and beta oxidation. One more important point to be remembered in the palmitate synthesis, we know that the palmitate is 16 carbon. So out of these 16 carbons present in palmitate, only 2 they come from acetyl coenzyme A directly. So here we have seen that it starts with the acetyl coenzyme A, and then the malonyl coenzyme A it's get added up. So the out of 16 carbons, the 2 comes from acetyl coenzyme A directly, and the remaining 14 carbons are from malonyl coenzyme A, which in turn is produced by acetyl coenzyme A. So here we have discussed in the second step, the malonyl coenzyme A is produced from acetyl coenzyme A. But in the regular synthesis, the major 14 carbons they are from the malonyl coenzyme A, and the 2 carbons are from the acetyl coenzyme A. So energetics, you have to remember, the in the synthesis of fatty acids the energy is being utilized. Then next is the biological significance of cholesterol and the conversion of cholesterol into bile acids, steroid hormones, and vitamins. So cholesterol is found exclusively in animals. and hence it is often called as animal sterols. The total body content of cholesterol in adult weighing 70 kg is about 140 grams, that is around 2 gram per kg of body weight. The cholesterol is amphipathic in nature since it possesses both the hydrophilic and hydrophobic regions in the structure. So today we are going to discuss about the synthesis of cholesterol, the outline to be discussed, and the degradation of cholesterol to bile acids, steroid hormones, and vitamins. So, what is the function of cholesterol? It is essential to life and it performs the number of important functions. So, the first function of cholesterol is it acts as structural component of cell membrane. It is the precursor for synthesis of other steroids. It includes steroid hormones, vitamins, specifically vitamin D and bile acids, and also it is essential ingredient in the structure of lipoproteins, in which form the lipid in the body are transported. Fatty acids, they are transported to liver as cholesterol esters for oxidation. So major function of cholesterol is the structural component, then synthesis of the different steroids, for example steroid hormones, then vitamin D, bile acids. Also it is essential ingredient of the structure of lipoproteins. So we know that the lipoproteins, they are the transport proteins, the lipids, the transport lipids. Then the fatty acids are transported to liver as cholesterol esters for oxidation. So let's discuss about the cholesterol biosynthesis. So if you see the cholesterol biosynthesis, it involves 5 steps. First is the synthesis of HMG CoA, then second is the formation of mevalonate, third is the production of isoprenoid units, fourth is synthesis of squalene, fifth is conversion of squalene to cholesterol. So if you see, the mevalonate is 6 carbon, then isoprenoid unit is 5 carbon, then synthesis of squalene is 30 carbon and cholesterol is 27 carbon. So if you remember in the first chapter of biomolecule, we have discussed about the lipids where we have studied about the cholesterol. So if you see the structure of cholesterol, so you can see it is the fused ring where you can observe the 6-membered fused ring. 3 rings are there and one 5-membered ring. It is attached to aliphatic carbon chain. So here if you see on the right side the B part, it explains about the outline of cholesterol biosynthesis. So before going to cholesterol outline of biosynthesis, if you see here in this structure, certain carbons, they are indicated with the blue color and the certain carbons are indicated with red color. So here the acetate, the acetyl coenzyme A precursor which is used, or you can say acetate, the blue color carbons, it is indicated by this CH3 carbon, and the red color carbons, they are from the acid decarboxylate carbon. So CH3, it contributes to carbon at positions 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 13, and the other part, it is being contributed by the carboxylate carbon. So how it can be determined, means you might be having doubt that how it is defined that this carbon, blue color carbon, is specifically from the CH3, why it is not from the carboxylate. So it is determined by administering acetate with C14 isotope label either on methyl group or carboxyl group. The origin of carbon atom in the entire molecule of cholesterol has been established. So when the isotopes of carbons are used here in the acetate, for example, if I use isotope of carbon number 14, C14, and if I identify, so I'm able to confirm that yes, these points, they are from this CH3 carbon. The next part is the synthesis of cholesterol, biosynthesis of cholesterol. So it is being synthesized, the precursor is acetyl coenzyme A, it gets converted. So acetyl coenzyme A, we know that it is 2 carbon. It gets converted to HMG CoA, which is 6 carbon, then again to mevalonate, 6 carbon. Then this mevalonate, it gets converted into 5 carbon isoprenoid units. Then 6 units gets condensed. The isoprenoid units, 6 units, they get condensed to give squalene, which is 30 carbon unit. So 6 into 5, it becomes 30 carbon. Then squalene gets converted into lanesterol, which is again 30 carbon. And then lanesterol, it gets converted to cholesterol. Finally, it gives the cholesterol. So let's see the synthesis of cholesterol. Only the outline to be discussed. So acetyl coenzyme A, in presence of enzyme thiolase, it gives acetoacetyl coenzyme A. So you can see here it is the condensation, the two molecules of acetyl coenzyme A, they get condensed in presence of thiolase. Then acetoacetyl coenzyme A, in presence of HMG CoA synthase, it forms beta hydroxy beta methyl glutaryl coenzyme A. Then this beta hydroxy beta methyl glutaryl coenzyme A, by the action of enzyme HMG CoA reductase, it forms mevalonate. So this mevalonate is of 6 carbon. Then the mevalonate, by the action of enzyme mevalonate kinase, it forms 5 phospho mevalonate. So here it is phosphorylated and the ATP is utilized and it requires the magnesium ions for this conversion. Then 5 phosphomevalonate, it gets converted into again 5 bisphosphomevalonate, or you can say 5 pyrophosphomevalonate. So here again the pyrophosphorylation, double phosphorylated groups you can see, and this happens by the action of enzyme phosphomevalonate kinase. Then again the 5 pyrophosphomevalonate, by the action of enzyme kinase, it gets converted into 3 phospho 5 pyrophospho mevalonate. So this hydroxyl group, it is being phosphorylated. And then in the next step, by the action of enzyme the pyrophosphomevalonate decarboxylase, so decarboxylation occurs and it forms isopentyl pyrophosphate. So you can see this isopentyl pyrophosphate, the isoprenoid unit, as discussed in the outline, it is the 5 carbon. So it is 5 carbon, and this is the isoprenoid unit. It contains the double bond. It is called as isopentyl pyrophosphate. So in the next step, this isopentyl pyrophosphate, so as discussed, the 6 units, they get condensed and they forms the squalene. So before formation of squalene, you can see here the intermediate steps are mentioned. So 5 carbon dimethyl allyl pyrophosphate is formed. Then geranyl pyrophosphate is formed. Then by the action of transferase, it forms farnesyl pyrophosphate, which is 10 carbon, 15 carbon. And then this farnesyl pyrophosphate, the two molecules, they get condensed by the action of enzymes choline synthase. It forms this choline, and this choline, if you rewrite, so here it is indicated in the straight form. Here it is uh, in the cyclic sort of structure, and this by the action of enzyme epoxidase hydroxylase cyclase, it forms the intermediate, that is lanosterol. And then the lanosterol, by the action of enzyme series of reactions, it forms the cholesterol. So this is the 27 carbon cholesterol is being synthesized. So this is around more than 10 step synthesis, only the outline to be remembered over here. So from 2 carbon acetyl coenzyme A to 6 carbon HMG CoA, then to 6 carbon mevalonate, then the isoprenoid unit, which is 5 carbon. So 6 units, they get condensed to give the squalene, then squalene to lanesterol, and lanesterol to cholesterol. Then the next part here is the degradation of cholesterol. So the steroid nucleus, 27 carbon nucleus ring structure we have just now seen, it cannot be metabolized in humans. and therefore the cholesterol that is around 50% is converted to bile acids and excreted in feces, serves as precursor for the synthesis of steroid hormones, then vitamin D, then coprostanol and cholestanol. The latter two are the fecal sterols besides cholesterol. So if you see the degradation of cholesterol, here first is the synthesis of bile acid. So you can see here the outline of degradation of cholesterol to bile acid is indicated. So you can see here it is outline of bile acid synthesis. The one single asterisk it indicates it is primary bile acids, and the two asterisk it indicates the secondary bile acids. So the bile acids they possess 24 carbon atoms, two or three hydroxyl groups in the steroid nucleus, and a side chain ending in carboxyl group. And the bile acids they are amphipathic in nature since they possess both polar and non-polar groups. They serve as emulsifying agents in the intestine and actively participate in digestion and absorption of lipids. So basically the cholesterol it gets converted into bile acids, and the bile acids they participate in digestion and absorption of lipids. The synthesis of primary bile acids it takes place in the liver, and it involves the series of reactions. So this takes place in the liver. So if you see the cholesterol by the action of enzyme hydroxylase, where it utilizes the NADPH, it gets converted to 7-hydroxycholesterol. Then the 7-alpha hydroxylase is inhibited by the bile acids, and this is the rate limiting reaction. So the step catalyzed by 7-alpha hydroxylase is inhibited by bile acids. So this enzyme is inhibited by bile acids, and therefore this is the rate limiting step. The 7-hydroxycholesterol formation is a rate limiting step. Then in the next step it forms cholic acid and chenodeoxycholic acid. They are the primary bile acids, and the cholic acid is formed in the larger amount in bile. On conjugation with glycine or taurine, so here you can see here it is indicated on the cholic acid on conjugation with glycine or taurine, conjugated bile acids like glycocholic acid and taurocholic acids are formed, which are more efficient in their function as surfactant. So this glycocholic acid and taurocholic acids which are formed, they are functioning as surfactant and they are more efficient as compared to cholic acid. The conjugated bile acids exist as, so these acids they exist in the form of salt, salt of sodium and potassium salts, which are known as bile salts. So you can see over here the chenodeoxycholic acid, again by the taurine or glycine it gets converted into tauro or glycochenodeoxycholic acid, and by the intestinal bacteria it forms the lithocholic acid. So all these acids they act as bile acids. They exist in the form of salts, in the form they get conjugated with sodium and potassium, sodium potassium salts, and they are used for digestion and absorption of lipids, and they act as the emulsifying agent. So degradation of cholesterol, the first is the synthesis of bile acids. Next is the synthesis of steroid hormones from cholesterol. So cholesterol is the precursor for the synthesis of all the 5 classes of steroid hormones. So which are those 5 classes? Glucocorticoids, mineralocorticoids, progestins, androgens, and estrogens. The example of glucocorticoids is cortisol, then mineralocorticoids is aldosterone, Then progestins, it is progesterone. Then androgens, it is testosterone. And estrogens, it is estradiol. So cholesterol, so if you see the synthesis of these steroid hormones, the cholesterol, which is 27 carbon, it gets converted into pregnenolone, which is 21 carbon, and then this pregnenolone, it gets converted into progesterone again, which is 21 carbon, and from here it forms the cholesterol, the cortisol, that is glucocorticoid, then aldosterone, which is mineralocorticoid, and estradiol, which is estrogens. So this is the synthesis of steroid hormones from the cholesterol. Then the third part is the synthesis of vitamin D. So cholesterol, the 7-dehydroxycholesterol, an intermediate in the synthesis of cholesterol, is converted to cholecalciferol, that is the vitamin D3, by ultraviolet rays in the skin. So these are the three degradation pathways of cholesterol. First is the cholesterol is degraded into bile acids. Then second is they are they are degraded to steroid hormones, or you can say they are used for the synthesis of steroid hormones, and they are used for the synthesis of vitamins, that is vitamin D3. So here if you see this 14.13, it is the summary of major sources of liver cholesterol and its utilization. So if you see the cholesterol pool, how what is the cholesterol pool in the liver? It is 1000 milligram. And what is the supply of through the dietary cholesterol? It is 500 milligram per day. And from the synthesis in the liver, it is 500 mg per day. So dietary cholesterol supply is 500 milligram per day, and the through the synthesis it is again 500 milligram per day. It leads to the total pool of cholesterol, that is 1000 milligram. Also the cholesterol from the extra hepatic tissues. So these are the major sources of liver cholesterol. Then this cholesterol is being converted into bile salts and bile acids, and that is around 250 milligram per day. Then to cholesterol which is lost in bile, that is 500 milligram per day. And also it forms the lipoproteins and steroids and the vitamins. So that is how it is being degraded. So today we have discussed two points. First is the synthesis of fatty acids, and it is called as de novo synthesis of fatty acids. So we have seen there are three steps or three stages. First is the production of acetyl coenzyme A and NADPH. Second is the conversion of acetyl coenzyme A to malonyl coenzyme A. And third is the fatty acid synthase complex. So here the mainly the third point is very essential to remember and majorly asked in the exam. So first is the production of acetyl coenzyme A and NADH. So here we have discussed the acetyl coenzyme A which is produced. It cannot be uh, diffused through the mitochondrial matrix, and therefore it condenses with oxaloacetate to form citrate, and this citrate can be diffused. So they are the precursor. In the first step, it is the prerequisite for the synthesis of acetyl coenzyme A and NADPH. Then in the second step, the acetyl coenzyme A gets converted to malonyl coenzyme A by the action of enzyme carboxylase in presence of biotin, where it utilizes the ATP and carbon dioxide. So this is carboxylation reaction. And the important is the biosynthesis of long chain fatty acids of palmitic acid. Example, the 16 carbons. The important enzyme which is involved in the synthesis is the fatty acid synthase, which contains two parts, that is acyl carrier protein and the cysteine. So the acetyl coenzyme A in the first step, it gets added up to the acyl carrier part, then it gets transferred to cysteine, then it adds the malonyl coenzyme A on the acyl carrier protein, then decarboxylation happens, then the acetyl group is being transferred from cysteine to malonyl part. Then the next step, the reduction of carbonyl group to hydroxyl group. Then in the next step, the fifth step, the if you see here, it forms double bond between the alpha and beta carbon. Then in the next step, the reduction of the double bond, it forms the saturated acyl ACP. Then the transfer of this butyl group on the cysteine, and again repeating all these steps, 6 steps, to form the palmitate with the enzyme. And this, in the last step, by the action of thioesterase, it releases the palmitate. The palmitic acid is formed. So here, to remember, the energy is being utilized. 7 ATP molecules and 14 NADPH are utilized for the synthesis of palmitate. And in the last lecture, we have discussed the fatty acid oxidation to liberate the energy. So basically, there we have discussed it releases 106 ATP molecules. So here, if you consider 14 into 2.5 plus 7, then next part we have discussed, that is the cholesterol biosynthesis and its degradation. So we know that the cholesterol, it is around 2 gram per kg of body weight which is present. Then we have discussed the functions of cholesterol. So it is structural component. It is responsible for the synthesis of steroid hormones, vitamins and bile acids, lipoproteins, and it is the fatty acids, they are transported to liver by using cholesterol esterase. Cholesterol esterase. Then we have discussed it is 5-step synthesis. First is HMG CoA synthesis. Then second is formation of mevalonate. Third is isoprenoid unit formation. Fourth is squalene formation. And then fifth is squalene to cholesterol. And then we have discussed the structure of cholesterol. It is 27 carbon. It is being uh, identified that it is from the acetate part. So CH3 and this carboxylate carbon, you can correlate, and it can be easily identified by using isotopes. And this is the outline where acetyl coenzyme A gets converted to HMG CoA to mevalonate, then to the isoprenoid unit, squalene, lanosterol to cholesterol. So here only the outline to be discussed. Then the next part is the degradation of cholesterol. So first is it used for the synthesis of bile acids. Bile acids, they are used for digestion and absorption of lipids. It acts as emulsifying agent or surfactant. So cholesterol, by action of enzyme hydroxylase, it forms 7-hydroxycholesterol. It forms the cholic acids or chenodeoxycholic acid, which is in presence of enzyme, in presence of, for example, here glycine and taurine, it forms glycocholic acid or taurocholic acid. And these are the more efficient surfactant as compared to cholic acid, and these acids, they exist in the salt form. Then next is the synthesis of steroid hormones from the cholesterol. So the cortisol, aldosterone and estradiol, they can be synthesized from cholesterol. And the third part is the synthesis of vitamin D. So vitamin D3 is used from for the synthesis from the cholesterol. It can be synthesized. The 7-dehydroxycholesterol, the intermediate in the synthesis of cholesterol, is converted to vitamin D3. And here we have discussed the summary of major sources utilized. This is the source and the conversion of cholesterol into different units. So we'll stop here today. Thank you.